Well, hello, North Country soccer fans, and welcome to the the Mary Latchmore Be the Match soccer tournament here in Chazy at the George Brendler Stadium. I'm Joey Trombley, and I'm with Lee Barcombe tonight. He's on the camera here for Calvin Castine, and he'll do some commentary for me. And Joe the Fish Poisson was supposed to be here, but he's a no-show, so make sure if you see Joe out and about, just rag on him a little bit. He did the earlier game. And Lee, it's a real pleasure to have you up here.
Thanks, Joey. I look forward to hopefully contributing something meaningful to this broadcast.
Well, Lee, I know you were up here earlier calling some other games for the other teams with Calvin, and it was really nice for you to step up this year. I know that Calvin asked if he could help, or you asked Calvin if you could help out, and I know at times Calvin can only be in one place instead of three places at one time, so it's going to be great having you up here. And Lee, why don't you let the folks know who our officials are tonight?
We have officials are Barry Norton and Tommy Kowaleski.
And Tommy's on the near sideline to us, and Barry's on the far sideline. And there's 6 teams in this tournament this year, and what they're playing is a point format. And my understanding is if you win 3 points. If you tie, you get 1. And then you get points for how many goals you score.
That's my understanding as well. I'm not necessarily sure they'll actually crown a winner overall, but it's a great competition. So far, the results are Amsterdam won the first game against Peru 4-2, and then the last game we had Beekmantown with a 2-0 victory over Immaculate Heart Central of Watertown.
So now we have Chazy and Plattsburgh, and Coach Trombley likes to play the best that the area has to offer early on. She brings these teams in, and it's a good test for the girls. And last year the girls had a very good season. For them it was a disappointment because they didn't make it back to the regional play, but they had a great season nonetheless. They won Division II. They did well in the playoffs. They lost to their arch rival, the Lions of Elizabethtown, and that's not the worst thing in the world to lose to your arch rival.
No, it gave a lot of experience to the younger players, and most importantly, it taught them how to lose graciously, and that goes a long way. This team has had so much success over the course of the years. Learning how to lose is an important part of growing as a player.
Absolutely. Well, the game has started, and it's a young Chazy team out there, but a very talented Chazy team. And right now the Eagles are controlling play. It is Hannah Hayes getting the ball over to Olivia Blaze, and the ball works its way to the middle of the field, and Plattsburgh High School has number 15, and I got to get to know these ladies here, Kaylee Carper, and ball works its way toward midfield, and running over there is Haley McLaughlin. Has it knocked away by number 17 for Chazy, and that is Lindsay Gilmore. And Gilmore is a fast player, and these players are young, Lee, but boy, they do have speed.
Wow, speed to burn. I wish I was that fast back in high school.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can tell them you were. No, no different.
My coach in college used to tell me I had deceptive speed. So that's what we'll go with.
I wish I could have that kind of speed. I never in a million years had the speed that these young ladies have. But we have a corner kick here early on here for the Lady Eagles, and it's Rachel Pombrio. She'll be running over there for the Eagles to take the kick here, and it looks like it'll be a traditional kick. Chazy is known for their short corner kicks, but she tries to serve it in. It's headed off the defense, and Plattsburgh trying to control, and they get it by Hannah Hayes, and it's cleared out by for Chazy, cleared out by Kenan Latchmore. And Stebbins with the throw and goes off Blaze. So Stebbins brings it up down the sideline, trying to send it down. She goes right down the line, and you got to look out for Brooke Knight. She's a fast player here for the Hornets, but trying to guard against her is Bailey Pepper. And Pepper is a freshman this year, but has a lot of varsity experience as she started as an 8th grader last year for Coach Karen Sherman Trombley. Blaze with the ball, has it knocked away by McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to keep it in, and it goes out of bounds. And so what you see here early, what do you think there, Lee?
It looks like it's going to be an evenly matched game. I think once Chazy gets their bearings, starts to gel a little bit, hopefully they'll control the midfield play. I don't know much about Plattsburgh, to be honest, so it'll be a learning experience for me there.
Well, it's fun to be back in the soccer season, and I tell people I love September and October, not only for soccer season, I love the fall season. I'm not a big fan of what comes after it.
I'm with you.
We got a throw in here for the Hornets, And taking the throw in is Sarah Duquette. She sends it in and gets onto the foot of McLaughlin. McLaughlin pushes it back. Nice play by McLaughlin to restart here over to Senecal. Senecal sends it up over to Hewitt. Control. The Hornets are doing a good job controlling the midfield right now, trying to move the ball around. Chazy's kind of a little bit on their heels, and they got to look out for Brooke Knight. She's very fast back there. And on the far sideline, it's controlled by the Hornets, but stepping up for Chazy was number 19, Kaylee Laporte. Knocks it out of bounds. Throw in here for the Hornets, and it goes off of the Hornets, so they move the ball about 10 yards at a time down the far sideline. The ball comes into McLaughlin. McLaughlin with the ball being guarded by the defense of Chazy, and it looked like it was Laporte out there. Actually, it was number 17, Lindsey Gilmore. Throw-in comes in. Eagles are trying to get some control here right now. Chazy's having a hard time controlling the ball. Just looking to clear. They're trying to regroup here, but controlled by the Hornets. And there's a shot. It's a weak shot. And coming off the line is Logan Baker. And Logan Baker was a starting goalie last year, and she has a solid year of varsity experience under her belt.
I was watching her warm-ups, and she looks like she's got some quickness back there, great reflexes. Her dad, of course, was a hockey goalie back in his high school days for Beacontown Eagles. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, Derek Baker. We actually shared the net for a year in Beacontown.
So Derek was a goalie?
He was, yes.
All right, so it's kind of in the blood of the family, I guess.
I would say.
So we have a corner kick here for the Hornets, and going to take it is McLaughlin, and we've been calling her name a lot here early. It's 35-39 here in the first half. We do not have any score, but it has definitely favored Plattsburgh High School here early on here in this first half. Here come the Eagles, and the ball is pushed up over to Lindsey Gilmore. Gilmore tries to find Lauren, goes past her onto the foot of Senecal. Senecal sends it up toward midfield, but it's controlled by Gilmore and taken back by the Hornets. At midfield, Laporte pushes it up, trying to find Lauren, and controlled by the Hornets, though. And the Hornets are doing a good job spreading the field, and of course, they play the same style of soccer as Chazy, as alumni Tim Mulligan is on the sideline.
That's right. A lot of influence, Chazy soccer-wise, of course, for Tim Mulligan, having Tom Tregan as his coach, and then I believe even Rob coached him for a short time as well. So definitely knows the Chazy way to play.
Well, I mean, and for the viewers who are just hearing Lee Barkholm here for the first time, Lee, you're an alumni of Chazy.
Yes, I am.
And how far back do you go as an alumni?
I graduated class in 1991.
91,
so, yeah,
wow.
20 plus years now.
That's hard to believe. Lee, I remember when you were in CYO,
yes.
When I was in the community running that, so it's amazing how the years go by. And you played soccer back in the day too, didn't you?
I did. I played 3 years varsity. I was a fullback here at Chazy, and then when I went to college at Albany College of Pharmacy, coach moved me to striker. So I scored a lot of goals in college, believe it or not, and I spent my time here in high school defending the goal.
Now, you graduated in 91, so you played on the 89, 90, and 91 team.
Yes.
How did those teams do back then?
We did well in the section. We won the section through 2 of the 3 years, and but we didn't do well. Section 10 was strong back then. They had a lot of exchange students, so they did really well. Section 10 was a tough pull for us. We had now Coach Rob McAuliffe was a standout player for us back then.
Oh, so you were on Rob's team
yes,
back then?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Rob was an NBAC All-Star, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and he went on to great results in college as well.
At Oneonta.
Correct.
Yeah. So a lot of history here with Chazy soccer, and like I say, we have alumni Lee Barkholm up here at the camera. And I know Lee's a big fan of soccer because when we were calling the games for the radio on regional and state play, Lee is the king of Twitter, and he was tweeting all along, and word would get back to us, or we'd see the tweet, and it was kind of comical, actually.
Yeah,
you have fun with it, that's for sure.
We do. My brother Casey lives out in California, and he's probably one of the biggest Chazy soccer followers.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, and so he does a lot, and he and I both work along side by side, and we maintain a Facebook page as well as this at Chazy Soccer Twitter account. So
yeah,
a lot of fun, but a lot of serious stuff there too. A lot of good information.
Oh, absolutely, there is. I mean, before the big games and stuff, I go check it out to get some stats, so we have some information to share on the air. So yeah, we appreciate you guys doing that.
We've developed a pretty good network in and around New York State, so We have a lot of people that can provide us with info, and we give them info back. Nothing top secret, of course. So Coach McAuliffe doesn't get upset with us.
I laugh and I say it in jest, but there's some truth to it. There is almost like a Chazy nation out there following Chazy soccer.
It's true. It's amazing. We get people that have graduated long before me that still follow. Fred Gore, for example. I don't even know where Freddie lives now, but he was really excited when we started the Facebook page and the Twitter page. So he follows us. We just have it's a real nice following.
Now, how big is your following right now?
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I think we've got a couple hundred Twitter followers. A lot of them are actually current students.
Okay.
Of all teams. One of the players from Canton, Matt Mendy, number 10, he's a follower of us on Twitter, so he kind of does some scouting that way and gets some information from us. So it's fun.
Well, it's cool, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but next Friday, Chazy's playing a team from Long Island. Were you aware of that?
I saw that. There was a little bit of confusion because on the schedule I had, it showed E-Town.
It was supposed to be.
Okay.
Yes.
So this will be great. Section 11, we never ever see them. That'll be a real treat to be able to see some different play.
Well, what's kind of neat about that story, and this is a story that came to me, this team, and I'd have to look it up, it's kind of a weird, I'll say a weird name, it's a different name that we aren't used to, but they're coming up from Long Island, but they've been following Chazy soccer on the internet, and they just like our brand of soccer, and they called Rob, Coach McAuliffe, to play, and of course we were scheduled to play E-Town opening night, and so Rob didn't think much of it, but they kept pressing it, and so Rob called Coach Brendler of E-Town, and Brendler said, sure, I'd be happy to change the game for you, which is nice of E-Town, being our arch rival like that.
Yeah.
And so we're playing this team from Long Island who has been following us from Section 11, and I think they're like a B or C school.
That's great, and it's going to be some incredible experience for the players right now. It's a different brand of soccer when you get down to the cities south of here. Just knowing that, going to Albany and watching high school soccer in Albany, it is a whole different ball game. So
Yeah.
that'll be a good experience.
It'll be a good experience for the younger team, and I told Rob, I said, geez, after last year's team, you kind of wish that was the team they were going to face.
Yeah.
But what I saw today, this team has the makings of a very solid team.
I agree with you. I think, like we said earlier off camera, they have only to go up. They have a lot of room for improvement, a lot of young players. I think they're going to do great.
And we'll get back to the girls' game here. Obviously, that's who we're watching. But the girls are going to do okay this year, and they have a lot of experience on this team. And again, it's opening day for these girls, and for any player, they got to feel comfortable in their skin and their positions as you start the new season.
Absolutely. They lost a lot of goal scoring from last year, so they've got to figure out who's going to be that trigger person.
There it is.
And here it is, it's Hannah Lauren.
Hannah Lauren can finish. She's in the box she's trying to square up. And there's a wall of PHS defenders, but a nice through ball by Latchmore.
That was a nice play. Hannah Lauren will probably be our trigger person. She from the fabled Lauren family here in Chazy.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rich soccer tradition from the Lauren family.
Oh my gosh, and a lot of good goal scorers, and the Laurens always give you hustle.
They give 100%, and no, you can't give 110, but they give everything they can plus more.
Absolutely.
Well, the Eagles clear it up, and the ball is controlled by Stebbins. Stebbins being guarded by Pombrio. Pombrio takes it away from Stebbins, so it's Pombrio with the ball, through ball, trying to get it over to Lauren, but running back defensively is Senecal. And coming out onto the net is Sauls. She kicks it right up to midfield, controlled by the Hornets. And Latchmore trying to get to the ball, but a good job by Hewitt. And it is now controlled by Duquette, and she's being pestered by Shelby Gagnon, and Gagnon does a good job defending number 17, Duquette. Hornets coming down. We are at the 28:07 mark. We have no score. PHS, I guess if you go by statistics, have outshot the Eagles 1-0, but I would say overall have controlled the majority of the play so far. Chazy's had some looks where they're controlling the play, but the advantage is to PHS early. But as you said earlier, I do think they're somewhat evenly matched.
Yeah, and the big advantage for PHS right now is they're controlling the middle of the field. Once Chazy picks that up and starts to take that ball away in the middle, I think you'll see things start to turn around.
Well, I think they got to pressure the midfielders a little bit more. They're giving them a little bit too much respect right now.
I agree.
And I think they should be pressing the issue. But it's easy for us staying up here because we aren't moving, we aren't tired, and I never made a mistake up here.
I'm with you. So far, no mistakes in the last 10 seconds.
Well, here's an opportunity. It's a direct kick here for the Hornets, but they were quite a ways out there. But a nice punt toward the 18 and a nice header. It looked like by Polomsky is what it looked like, and the ball is cleared over to the center of the field, pushed up toward the 18, and it is Hannah Hayes, sending it up, getting it up over to Shelby Gagno. She knocks it out of bounds. So it'll be a throw in here for the Hornets, and it is number 6, Stebbins. Stebbins throwing it down the line. Coming over is Bailey Pepper. Pepper, the freshman, trying to find Gagno. Gagno battling the ball with number 17, Duquette. Duquette pushes it back over to Hewitt, and it now goes onto the foot of Duquette. She clears it into the center of the field, but it's cleared out by Polomsky. Stepping up is Latchimore. Latchimore gets it up over to Laporte, all the way to the far sideline, and you got some speed on the far sideline. I have to pick up that number 4, Chazy, on the far sideline, but I think it might be one of the Gilmores.
And to see those numbers.
Yeah, and once I get used to the players, I'll bet but I think it's Courtney Gilmore on the far side. So throwing here for Gagno, trying to find Pombrio. Pombrio keeps it in. Good play by Pombrio. Pombrio has some afterburners. She pushes up over to, and number 22, offsides. But what a nice shot by Blaze, sending it across, trying to find the head of Lauren, which she did, but Lauren was offsides. So some nice movement there.
Good looking play, and sometimes you got to play on that edge of that offsides call. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. So no fault there. That's a good play.
And Barry Norton was right there to see it, so it was obviously an offsides. So there's a kick by Sauls. And Lauren trying to battle for the ball as well as Carper. And it goes into the Chazy defensive end. And we have some substitutions here. So let me see, 4, 16, and 24. So we have Olivia Duquette. We have Zukowski, Katie Zukowski, and Samantha Swice coming into the game. We have 6 and 17 Stebbins coming off. We have Duquette coming off. And we have Hannah LeClaire coming off for the Hornets. And Latchimore trying to push it to the center of the field, trying to find Pombrio. And stepping up defensively is Hannah Hayes. Has it taken away by Brooke Knight. And it's Brooke Knight with the ball still. She pushes it all the way back over to Carper, who just checked into the game. And the ball is headed into Chazy territory. Up to midfield onto the foot of Blaze. Blaze gets by one player. It's Olivia Blaze. Sending it, there's a through ball. Here comes Pombrio. Pombrio gets the shot off. She scores! Rachel Pombrio from Olivia Blaze at the 24:09 mark. Chazy goes up 1-0, and there's one thing about Pombrio. If she gets ahead of that defense, you know she can finish.
That was a great strike. Simple play, side of the net, well struck, didn't hit it too hard, inside of the foot. Real nice play there.
And Olivia Blaze gets credit, and I'm a big fan of Coach John Wooden. And John Wooden, if you ever read any of his books, always told his players, when you score, make sure you acknowledge the person that got you the ball. And Olivia Blaze gets the assist on that one.
It was a nice feed ball through, and it gave the other player an opportunity to run on the ball and put the ball in the net.
So it is 1-0 Chazy at the 24:07 mark. 2 shots on net. They convert on 50% of them. And now Plattsburgh looking to try to get the equalizer. They send it into Chazy territory. And the ball is cleared back to the sweeper position. And it's Bailey Pepper, and she gets it up over to Hannah Hayes, who's playing the left fullback position, over to Shelby Gagno. Gagno trying to get it up over to Blaze, but it's taken away by McLaughlin. And there's some good defense by Latchmore, goes to the sideline, and Hannah Hayes has time. She'll survey the situation. She gets by one player. It's Hayes. Outside pass over to Shelby Gagno, and it goes over to Pombrio again. Pombrio battling number 15 Carper. She sends it to the box trying to find Lauren, but it's cleared out. Coming over to midfield, it's Brooke Knight and Hannah Hayes. They'll battle for the ball, and Hayes wins that battle. Sends it up, trying to find somebody, but stepping up for the Hornets is Duquette, taken away by Gagno. Now it's cleared up toward midfield, but it goes off Latchmore's foot onto the foot of McLaughlin. McLaughlin has it taken away by Latchmore, but it goes over to McLaughlin. Now she's being challenged by Gagno. Coming over to the near sideline, and it's knocked away by Swice over to Brooke Knight. Knight now goes to the open space, and she finds the foot of Carper. Carper being guarded by Pepper, and coming over to help out is number 10, Polomsky. So Polomsky and Pepper do a good job on the offense of PHS. Swice with the throw in here for the Hornets, deep into Chazy territory. They're looking for the equalizer here at the Be the Match Mary Latchmore tournament. And Brooke Knight looking to load up. She gets the shot off, and it goes wide, but you can see in her eyes there that she wanted to get that shot off, and it will be a goal kick here for Chazy, and Chazy knocked off that swarm of the Hornets this time around.
Yeah, the goal's going to hopefully solidify things and cause the Eagles to distribute the ball better and get some more opportunities on goal, give them a little confidence, which would
Well,
need.
one thing is they can't rest on this one-goal lead because PHS is too good to do that. And there's a knockdown, and she calls it on Hannah Hayes. There's a collision, and Tommy Kowalowski says no. Coach Trombley is kind of questioning that, and Tommy Kowalowski says no way. That is a foul on the Eagles. So McLaughlin will take the kick here for the Hornets. And there's a nice booming kick, and oh wow, Chazy dodges a bullet as Logan Baker did her job. She kept the ball out of the net, but boy, Brooke Knight was there.
I think number 19, which is Kaylee Laporte, I think she might have got a foot on one of those too to direct it out. Boy, that was a little scrum there. Eagles come out of that lucky.
Yeah, they did. It could have been an equalizer for sure. And the ball's cleared out just outside the box. Now it's cleared out by Laporte. And Lauren trying to get to the ball, but defensively it's Senecal. Senecal sends it up over to Scores, but taken away by Lauren. Lauren pushes it up. She finds Blaze. Blaze on the outside, trying to find Gilmore. She finds Gilmore. Gilmore pushes it up and trying to get it over to Latchmore, but it's cleared out by the PHS defense into the Chazy territory. But over there is Polomsky. Polomsky knocks it off of Brooke Knight, so good play by Polomsky. And we have a substitution here for the Eagles. And coming into the game, we have Gwen Lapierre. Coming out of the game is Kenan Latchmore. Ball controlled by the Hornets in Chazy territory. We have 20 minutes here left in the first half. Chazy with a 1-0 goal on a Rachel Pombrio goal from Olivia Blaze. Plattsburgh controlling the midfield, and it is knocked away by Gilmore. Gilmore pushes it up, gets it up over to Lauren. Lauren sending it through. There goes Blaze coming off the line. Is Sauls, and Sauls is way outside the line there, but does a nice job clearing it. And the Eagles are trying to get a long shot going, and it's cleared out by number 4, Duquette. At midfield, controlled by Carper, but taken away by Pombrio. Blaze battling for the ball, pushed it over to Shelby Gagno. Gagno battling the ball along with Swice. Swice controlling the play. And Gagno trying to pick it away, but Swice does a nice job knocking it into Chazy territory. And it's picked up by Bailey Pepper. And get him to Brooke Knight, and this is a dangerous play. You got to be careful. Brooke Knight can finish. And she goes wide, but some good pressure by Polomsky because Brooke Knight would have finished, I think.
Yeah, that was just wide. I think she felt her on her backside, and she wanted to get the ball off quickly, and just enough pressure to cause her to push it wide.
But it was a defensive mistake on the Eagles, and good recovery job by Amber Polomsky.
Yeah, good hustle back by the center midfielder.
And here comes Rachel Pombrio for the Eagles. And we have Polomsky coming out, and we have Latchmore going in. And Swice chips it up there. Hannah Hayes is there for the Eagles. Hayes is battling Frady. And it is Gagno. She's battling McLaughlin. McLaughlin wins that battle off the foot of Hewitt. Hewitt trying to find Knight, but coming in hard is Frady. And it deflects off the Chazy defense. And Latchmore, or Pombrio, heads it back trying to find Lauren. And it goes onto the foot of Carper. Carper switches field. She gets on to Stebbins' foot to the far sideline. Controlled by the Hornets in Chazy territory. They're looking to get the equalizer as they trail 1-0 on a Rachel Pombrio goal here in the first half. It goes to Lapierre. Gwen Lapierre with the ball. Oh, she's taken down by number 24, Swice. She gets the call. She wasn't happy with but it was just a collision.
That was a hard challenge.
Yeah, it was, and nothing dirty.
No.
It was just a good, hard soccer play.
Got to take your knocks sometimes.
As I say, it's not croquet. This is soccer. Ball goes off the head of Lauren. Off the line is Sauls. And she'll throw it. She throws it out to the far sideline, and she's trying to get it onto the foot of Zukowski. She sends it up, controlled by the Eagles. And it is Gilmore with the ball, trying to find somebody, sends it across, but it goes onto the foot of Hewitt. Hewitt sends it into Chazy territory, and there's Brooke Knight, and she's called for pushing on Latchmore. So we have 16:33 here left in the first half, 1-0 Chazy on a relatively evenly matched game right now, but Chazy has the advantage with the goal. And it's Lapierre has it knocked away going to midfield. Latchmore, or Pombrio, heads it over to Blaze. Blaze sends it to the open field on Lapierre. Lapierre has Shelby Gagno. And it's Lapierre, she'll take it down the line. Lapierre trying to get by one player. She does. She's looking to serve it. She sends it across, and it's knocked out of bounds. So throw in here for Chazy. Gagno going to take the throw in. Coming into the game for Chazy is Gilmore. Lindsay Gilmore is back into the game. Coming out of the game is Hannah Lauren. And going into the game for PHS was Duquette. And coming off was number 24, Swice. And here's the throw in, controlled by the Eagles. Lapierre trying to find Pombrio. Ball cleared up to midfield. Back there is Pepper. Pepper does a nice job sending it right back to the 18. And offsides. And, well, it was offsides.
It was offside. She didn't get back fast enough, and that's a learning experience.
Yeah.
I got to apologize for the shaky camera work. I'm still getting used to Calvin's camera, so if I'm making you seasick at home, I truly apologize.
Listen, you do a lot better than the Fish. The first time Fish was on that camera, I was like, my God, Joe, what's wrong with you? I can pick on him. He's not here.
That's right.
He should have been here.
We don't know where he is.
We don't know where the Fish is. He was here earlier for the boys' game, though.
He was in his stool.
Oh, yeah. He came up with his crutches, and we had to carry the stool for him. And any work that he did, we did for him. And I'll tell you what, he was enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll repay you at some point this season. What do you think about that?
No, that would never happen.
Okay.
Yeah, the Fish will never do it. It's just no way. And he'll hear this broadcast here, and he'll know I'm right. We all love the Fish, though. We all love the Fish.
Right.
Ball at midfield, and it's knocked out of bounds. So throw in for Chazy at the 14:22 mark. And checking back into the game is Amber Polomsky. Coming out of the game is Gwen Lapierre. And the ball's in play into PHS territory, far sideline. And they had subs coming in, so they're going to redo it. And you have LeClaire and Carper going into the game here for the Hornets. Coming out of the game is Brooke Knight, as well as Katie Zukowski. And it goes back to the sweeper, Pepper. She'll switch fields all the way over to Hannah Hayes. And it is Duquette and Hayes battling there. And when you get to that point defense, you just got to do a contained job, really. Let your defense come in to help out.
Right. Push the ball to the outside, keep away from the inside, and try to contain till you get people coming back to give you a hand.
And try to keep the ball away from their foot they can strike with.
Exactly, yeah. Shield it as best you can.
And the ball is going into the box. So this is dangerous. Frady's there. And coming off the line was Baker. She slid right down, and very nice job by Logan Baker.
And a solid defensive play. I can't see what number she is.
It was Bailey Pepper.
Bailey Pepper with a solid defensive play to kind of shield and push the player to where she didn't want to be, basically.
And it is Gagno. She chips it up trying to find Rachel Pombriel, and it's knocked out of bounds here by number 4, Olivia Duquette. So throw-in comes in, trying to find Gilmore, and we're looking at Lindsay Gilmore. And here comes Pombriel. Pombriel with the goal, looking to now serve it. She serves it, and as the Eagles are there, it's Gilmore. Gilmore has a nice shot. She can get it off, and there's the chip toward the net.
She touched it. The keeper touched that ball, I'm pretty sure.
And no, Kowalowski says no. She didn't, so it will be a goal kick. So 12 minutes and 3 seconds. Shots favor PHS 4-2, but they trail where it matters most on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. Again, it's an evenly matched game, as you folks at home can see. It's a first game for both teams, so there's a lot of errors out there and a lot of corrections to be made, but it is a good soccer game nonetheless.
And Gilmore gets the shot off, and that's Lindsay Gilmore. Her sister Courtney's on the far side. And Saul's with the punt here for PHS. And it goes over to Blaze. Ball knocked up. And it's Hannah Hayes. Hayes sends it up. Latchmore trying to control it, but it's cleared out by McLaughlin. Down on the far side for Chazy, it's Polomsky. She just kicks it out of bounds. There'll be a throw in here for PHS. Polomsky letting her defense settle in here. And the ball goes into McLaughlin. McLaughlin's being challenged on the far sideline, knocked out by the Chazy defense. So another throw in here for the Hornets at the 10:58 mark.
Back when I played soccer, Joe, it was really special to play under the lights. We maybe did it twice a year.
That was over at Seton or MAI.
Yeah, that was the only place that had lights, and now, I mean, it's really still special, but I think these kids don't understand nowadays what it was like back then. Under the lights every game pretty much for Chazy, all the home games at least, and,
right.
And PHS as well has lights at their field. So.
And Northeastern Clinton now.
You're right, so there's a lot more opportunity to play under the lights. It's fun, you know.
But you know, when you played, Lee, I mean, just behind those stands, you played on that field over there, and for a storied program like the Chazy Eagles, that was not the best field to be playing on.
No, it was uneven, of course, but Coach Brendler and Tregan and McAuliffe all taught you the best way to play on that field, and we've had great results.
Oh, you did, but you know, it's actually very nice that the taxpayers of this community voted for this project, for it to happen, and it is. I mean, this wouldn't have happened without the taxpayers.
No.
And but you know, the program, boys and girls program. I mean, you're looking at 9 state championships between them. You really need a class act type facility, and we have it here.
It's amazing, and we have the ability to host sectional games and regional games and that sort as well. So it's really a great thing.
I mean, this is high school soccer, and I mean, I'm sure they can see, and at some point you might be able to scan over. But there's a good crowd here tonight for a Friday night.
There is. For
a soccer game in the North Country, and you know, you come to the George Brendler Field, and nice play by Baker calling it off. But you come to the George Brendler Field, you have stands, you have people standing along the sidelines, you got the snack shack, and I mean, everybody knows about the world-famous Mickey fries.
Exactly.
And if you don't care for soccer, you come for a Mickey fry. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation here. But I do know that the other teams and obviously the coaches and kids from the other teams, they enjoy coming down here. Here's a chance, Pombriel. And a good defensive job, but Pombriel can pick her, and she does, trying to get on the inside right now. And it'll be a corner kick for Chazy. But I do know, like I talked to Coach Bueller of E-Town, and he says his kids can't wait to come here and play because of the atmosphere of the facility and the fans that show up. They know it's a showcase event when they come here.
Absolutely, and it's got to be the most difficult place to play in Class D, Section 7. It always has been.
Well, the thing is, they come in here and they know the history, and here's an opportunity. Gilmore.
Good shot.
Oh, just wide. Beautiful shot. She was trying to go upper shelf, far side, just missed.
Left-footed, nice left-footed shot.
But you know, the play. They come here. They know the history here. They know the success of this program, and there's got to be a few nerves on their end when they come. I've always said any team that comes here to play Chazy is already down a goal before the match starts.
Absolutely, yeah. You gotta have jelly legs to start out because you're nervous as heck. The crowd's behind you, against you, I should say, and it's quite a formidable start.
Yeah. It's especially for the younger players who have never done it.
Oh yeah.
Rob was talking. I won't go into any names. But some of the younger players for Chazy, the boys, were very, very nervous going out there today, playing on this stage.
It certainly is nerve-wracking. I remember being a ball boy way back when on the old varsity field, and that you were nervous. You wanted to do the best job you could to provide the ball to the players as fast as you could. It was those were the days.
Yeah, those were our good old days, right?
That's right.
Chazy, the shots on net are now at 4-4. 1-0 Chazy on a Rachel Pombrio goal. We have 7 minutes here left in the first half, and Hannah Hayes pushing the ball up, and it's cleared up, and it will go out of bounds. And Chazy will take the throw in here, and it will be Hannah Hayes taking the throw in here for Chazy. She gets it up trying to find Lauren, and there's a big booming kick by Carper, middle of the field in the offensive zone for the Hornets in the Chazy territory. And Carper sends it back up to the open space. It's going to go on the foot of Duquette. Duquette goes baseline, or near far or sideline here, I should say. And it goes all the way back to Duquette. And nice play. And there's a push on Blaze. She wanted to call. She got it. So Chazy will get a free kick here with 6:14 to go.
Good show in the first half by both teams. Coaches will have a lot to talk about at halftime and to make some adjustments, and we'll see what happens in the second half.
Well, we still got time here in the first half that we can see another goal. We got 6 minutes to be exact, and PHS is putting the pressure on here. They're trying to get that equalizer. And defensively for Chazy, it was Laporte doing a good job out there for the Eagles. And now it is Pombrio. She goes to the open space. She's trying to find Gilmore, and that's Lindsay Gilmore. She has some nice speed for a young player here coming up for Chazy, trying to keep it in. And Gilmore, an 8th grader, and that's pretty amazing in itself. Wow. 8th grader at being an impact player like this.
Yeah, back when I played, of course, and I hate going back in history, but the best 8th grader we had back then was now Coach Rob McAuliffe.
Yeah, he was obviously very, very good. A 5-year varsity player. And Frady was taken down there by the Eagle defense, and that was, I think, maybe Blaze. So coming up to take the kick here is Senecal.
Having young kids contribute so early on really speaks volumes to the development program we have here in Chazy. Not only the scholastic athletics, but also the youth commission. Really impressive, the numbers of kids that come out to play.
And the parents that step up and coach.
Absolutely, and devote their time and effort, money.
And you see new crops of coaches. I mean, we've all had our time, and I had my day when the kids were going through, and as many parents have, and then these kids and the younger kids and the other parents step up that played soccer for Chazy and who love the game and want to see the tradition continue.
That's right. Everybody has a little bit to offer from all their time and glory here back at old CCRS.
Well, whenever there's success here in Chazy on the soccer field, the whole community can kind of thump their chest because they've all have played a role in it some way, somehow.
That's right. Even if it's only support in the stands, you say even if, but I mean that 12th man is really important some days to push the team over the edge, to give them a little bit of gusto they need to finish up strong.
Absolutely. And I go back to the taxpayers that support this field.
Yes.
They're the ones that made it a reality for these kids. And of course we got to honor the man who this field is named after, Coach George Brendler. And it's nice it was dedicated to him while he's still around to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And it is the George Brendler Field, and he is revered here in Chazy. And whenever you see Coach, say hi to him because he's around, and you see him walking or jogging, and or he's at the library. He's just giving back, and hey, he's the Lions Club king this year at the Old Homes Day.
That's right, Mr. and Mrs. Brendler, King and Queen 2013.
And well deserved.
Absolutely. He does
well-deserved.
so much in the community. So much time has been devoted and volunteered, of course. Just a great man. He's always got a story for you.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And they're interesting stories.
yeah, absolutely.
And if you ever read the book Brendler's Boys, the history of that man, there's a shot by Brooke Knight, and it goes wide, but where he came from and his story out in Poland.
Truly touching.
Yeah.
Amazing what he overcame to come to little old Chazy and put his footprint and thumbprint on the development of this school and the soccer program here. Is really impressive.
Yeah, if anybody is Brendler's Boys, and go Google it, and you can purchase the book, and it's a good read, and there's a lot of, I think you're even in there too,
I'm in there.
photo of your high school picture, if
Yeah,
I'm
a
not
couple
mistaken.
times. I believe the author was Larry Gooley.
It is Larry Gooley. And it's a great book, and if you like a good read and you enjoy the style of Chazy soccer and their success, Google Brendler's Boys.
You can pick it up at the public library also. I was there the other day and I was on the shelf. So.
Oh, it was? Okay, good. So if you don't want to buy it, go take it out and read it. And it's Pombrio as we approach the 2-minute mark, and
Good shot.
there's a shot, and Baker's there. So it was a shot by Carper, Ashley Carper, and Baker will take her time. Nice punt by Logan Baker off the head of Lauren to midfield, but quickly it goes back into Chazy territory. And it looks like Chazy's just trying to get out of this half with the 1-0 lead. They're kind of letting PHS have their way here at the midfield.
Yeah, they're content to sit back and defend for now and then regroup at halftime and come back out with a different game plan.
Well, 1:27 to go, and coming on strong was Olivia Seymour, and Lindsay Gilmer goes trying to get her sister Courtney. Courtney's a senior. She'll come down. Courtney's got a nice foot too. Courtney Gilmore working her way into the box. Smart play by Gilmore. And a corner kick. So good play by Gilmore. It was a good defensive play by Nye. But Gilmore, if she gets a step on you, she can finish just as well as Pombrio.
She does have some wheels, and she was trying to get around the end so she could serve the ball back across. She just couldn't quite get past the outstretched foot of Nye. So here's a big opportunity for the Eagles to pad their lead.
Yep, before the first half goes to it. It's 50 seconds left here. Oh, and Courtney has a very strong leg, and she's not happy with that one. I think it was Courtney that took it. And it might have been Polomsky.
Hard to see these numbers as a shadow being cast for the lights.
Yeah, there is. It's hard to pick them up. And I got to get used to the girls, too. It's new for us, too. It's the beginning of the season for us, too.
That's right.
So we don't even have our A game going yet.
No, but
by mid-season.
But by all means, don't hold back your donations to Hometown Cable.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. We'll talk about that, too.
6, 5, 4.
Well, the first half will come to an end, and it is Chazy leading Plattsburgh High School 1-0 here at the Mary Latchmore Be the Match tournament. And we'll be back for the second half. And we're ready to start the second half here. Chazy leading 1-0. And before the break, you had mentioned about Hometown Cable and supporting. And if you want to make a donation to Hometown Cable, you can send a donation to 1477 Ridge Road, Champlain, New York, 12919. Or you can go to hometowncablenetwork.com and pay on the PayPal account. But I think you will agree, Lee, if you're making a donation to Hometown Cable, you're making an investment into the North Country.
Absolutely. Calvin does a tremendous job. Take, for example, today, he's got 10 hours of video in today he's doing between here and Champlain. Really committed his time to the North Country with this whole Hometown Cable network.
And granted, it's his livelihood, but he spends a lot of time, and he has a lot of history recorded here in the North Country. And as the years go on and on, all this stuff is being recorded digitally on the internet, and future generations will know about the history of the North Country.
It's so valuable of a resource. Calvin has done a great job over the time, and back when he had his brother Sam helping him out as well, they both put countless hours in chronicling the youth of the North Country for years and years.
And plus he's gotten the major weather events that have taken place, and And then, of course, we're doing the segment called Talking Business, or exposing businesses. And then you have Gordy doing his our little corner here, doing deeper shows on various activities and events. So if you can make a donation to Hometown Cable, it is Calvin's livelihood. He gets no state or federal funding. It's how he supports himself. His gas, his equipment. He pays for the he pays for the cable station, and so he's got expenses. And people will think nothing about having a high cable bill. They'll think nothing about supporting PBS, which I encourage. But let's support Hometown Cable also.
Absolutely, it's a gem of the North Country.
And I think as the years have gone by, I don't think Calvin realized what it would become, or just. I call him a living legend here in the North Country for what he's done. And I help him out because I enjoy doing it, and I know it's a way to give back to the community, and the folks like to see the people they know on camera.
That's right. Absolutely true. He's got an incredible memory for events that happened 20 plus years ago even. He'll bring stuff up back when I was playing, or friends of mine or family members of mine. Just a good memory, a great guy all around. So feel free to send a donation in, like Joey said, to the address he gave, or even hometowncablenetwork.com.
All right, so there's our plug for Calvin, and hopefully some people will feel compelled watching this program. And I'll say for any parents of the PHS players, if you're enjoying this, please support them. And here comes Laura, and she's trying to get by that defense. Laura's trying to bowl her way through there, and it's knocked away by number 3, 20. I think it was Casey Brunell,
Yes.
but it was knocked away, and then it will be a corner kick. And coming up is Polomsky. Coming up from the fullback position to take the corner kick. Well, the next goal for either team is very important.
Yeah, it's going to set the pace. Either Chazy will probably fall back to their heels a little bit and defend their 2-goal lead, which is probably the most dangerous lead in all of sports. Or certainly if PHS puts the ball in the net, it's going to make this whole new ball game.
Well, let's just say the game will be a little more intense.
For sure.
So we're early here in the second half. It's still 1-0 Chazy in the third game of the day of Mary Latchmore's Be the Match tournament here. And Lee was here earlier, and Lee talked about Calvin putting some hours in. Lee's been putting some hours in here today too. And if you can anybody just starting to watch the show now, you can talk about the first 2 games, what happened.
The first game showed Amsterdam versus Peru. Amsterdam out of I believe it's section 2 down near Albany, and of course Peru section 7. Amsterdam won that game 4-2. They were very strong. They have a couple real talented players. Peru has a young girl by the name of Bushy, who's a very good player. She scored at least 1 goal. So that was the score there. Second game was Beekmantown playing against Immaculate Heart Central of Watertown.
Section 10.
Section 2, actually. Section 3. They're just out past Section 10. And we got a player injured here. I don't know if this
Kenan
is...
Latchmore is down.
Is it Kenan Latchmore? So in that second match, it was Beekmantown defeating Immaculate Heart 2-0 on goal. Standout player of the game was Kaylee Villamere, who is a well-known name here in Chazy soccer history, the Villamere name. So here's Mr. Thompson, Corey Thompson, coming out to check on the health of young Miss Latchmore. We'll take a break. We'll be back shortly.
And we're back from the injury, and Latchmore is being looked at by Corey Thompson, and it looks like she's got her head wrung there a little bit. Whenever you're playing and somebody kicks that ball that close, it just snaps you.
Whiplash effect for sure.
Yeah.
And you can't be too careful nowadays with concussions. We were talking off air about that.
Absolutely. But we got a good one in Corey Thompson. He's a well-versed EMT here in the North Country.
Yeah, Chazy's lucky to have him on staff here at the school as a math teacher, and he's always there to respond. He's JV girls coach as well.
JV girls, yes. And of course, he's always here at the varsity games when he can be to support the girls. And here come the the Hornets. And the Hornets, I would say, probably have controlled the second half here so far.
Yeah, early on they have, and now they've earned themselves a corner kick. It was a good play by Knight there to get the ball out of play, and now they're going to try and capitalize on this opportunity to pull even with the Eagles.
Well, here's McLaughlin taking the kick here for the Hornets. And there's a nice feed inside the box, and it's headed out by Polomsky. There's a shot. What a save by Baker. Cat-like reflexes off the post. And Baker did a nice job on that one.
There's those reflexes. I was watching her in warm-up. She was doing that same drill right there with Liz Guerin, was peppering her with shots, and she was punching them over the net just like that. It was a beautiful save.
Yeah, and you'll give up a corner kick over a goal any day of the week.
You got it.
So now they're going to switch it up here. They're going to have Sarah Duquette take the corner kick here. And another nice feed. And it's always dangerous on corner kicks, as you well know. And the one thing you don't want to do is have the ball land inside the box, because anything can happen. And here's Lauren trying to get it up over to Blaze, and Pombrio sends it up. She's trying to find Gilmore. Lindsay Gilmore comes over to the near sideline onto the foot of LeClaire. She pushes it back, and she gets on the foot of Score. Score sends it up, and it's Hannah Hayes. Hayes with the ball, working her way down the sideline. It's Hayes and LeClaire. Hayes wins that battle, and it works its way to midfield, and there's a big booming kick, and off the head of Pepper. And you have, for Chazy, it would be Courtney Gilmore on the far sideline. Ball pushed out and it goes off to the sideline.
I am never calling ever again.
And a throw in here for Chazy. Ball at midfield, out of bounds. Quick throw in here for the Hornets. And we have a substitution. And we have Shay Frady coming into the game. Coming out of the game is number 2, Hannah LeClaire. You can be around tomorrow at all?
Yeah, Calvin and I were speaking about that beforehand. We're still a bit up in the air depending on the results of the Northeastern game tonight, what's going to happen. But I'm going to try and be here for the Chazy Beekmantown game in the morning.
The girls' game?
Yeah.
That's 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Oh, well, okay, I thought it was 11. 1 o'clock. So I'm going to plan to be here for that. And then I'd like to come to the boys' game tomorrow night. Should be a good matchup.
Should be, yeah. Well, last year we talked about this on the radio earlier. Beekmantown Chazy last year could have been a state championship game. It was that well played, which was stunning for an early in the season game. And actually, it was probably better than the state championship game.
That went to overtime in a shootout,
In a shootout, yeah.
Correct, yeah.
It was 1-1. But just both teams just crisp passing. It was a lot of skill. It was just a really fun game to watch.
Now, both teams are in a bit of a rebuild. Beekmantown lost a lot of scoring, as did Chazy. Chazy's got a completely new defense. So the only thing that I see right now that would separate the two would be the fact that Beekmantown has a real strong returning sweeper in Plumador. He was an all-star last year, and they have an established goalkeeper as well. So give them the nod there, but you never can count Chazy out, that's for sure.
No, I mean, it's you'd probably give the slight nod based on what you said to Beekmantown. But at the end of the day, you got to play the game.
That's
and,
right.
My guess is they're somewhat evenly matched, slight edge Beekmantown.
Yeah, it'll be a very close game.
And tomorrow, well, you know, the Chazy girls, no matter what happens here, they're playing Beekmantown tomorrow. And that's going to be a good test for the Our Lady Eagles here.
Yeah, the Beekmantown Eagles are a very strong team. I watched them earlier versus Immaculate Heart, and they dominated some play. They moved players around a lot, and because of that, the game was a lot closer than it probably should have been. It could have easily been 4 or 5-0.
Well, Gagne was trying to get around the defense there, but a good job by the Hornets. And it was cleared out by number 21, Kelsey Senecal. And there's a throw-in off the foot of Gilmore. Blaze trying to get to the ball, and it's controlled by the Lady Hornets. Up to midfield, Laporte is there. Over to Courtney Gilmore. Gilmore at the midfield position, pushes it up over to Laporte. Laporte trying to get it back to Gilmore. It goes off the Hornets goes off of number 17, Duquette. So a throw in here for the Eagles, far sideline. And the shots on net favor Peru 9-4, more because of their play here in the second half. But Chazy's looking for an opportunity here coming up. And then here come the Eagles and pushed out over to Shelby Gagno. Gagno trying to get to the ball. And it's taken away here by the Hornets. Chazy on an offensive run, but defensively the Hornets stood up to the task. And it's number 8, Hewitt. She sends it up, but Hannah Hayes has done a wonderful job here for the Eagles. And it's 8-on-8. It's Hayes and Hewitt. Hayes does a nice job taking away from Hewitt, but it goes on to the foot of Duquette. Duquette in Chazy territory. Pushes it over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin has space, and she's trying to find Brooke Knight. Brooke Knight has some space, and you got to watch out for this young lady. She pushes it to the open space over to Frady. Frady gets the kickoff, and it goes off of Polomsky. Polomsky trying to keep it in before it goes out, and it goes out, and it's a goal kick as she takes it off of the PHS offensive player.
Good back and forth action right here between the two squads. Both trying to gain a foothold and pop another ball in the net.
I truly believe there'll be another goal in this game. Which way it goes, I don't know, but I got to believe there'll be another goal at least in this game.
I tend to agree with you, Joey, on that.
Well, we'll find out in the next 28 minutes if we know what we're talking about. And the ball is head out. Brooke Knight on top of the key. You got to keep her away from turning around and get that shot off.
Good chance here.
And
there it is.
There it is. And she was screened, and you can see Brooke Knight turn around there, and on her strong foot, you cannot let her turn and get that shot off. No. And Baker was screened on that.
And it was a well-placed shot. I mean, she'd have been hard-pressed to save that even if she saw it all the way in. It was really a well-placed shot.
Well, if I can say one thing, Brooke Knight made us look like experts.
Yeah, absolutely. See, we do know what we're talking about, Joe.
So Brooke Knight has tied this game, and that's the 10th shot. The shots had favored Chazy early, but Beatmantown, Plattsburgh's come in here in the second half and had like 6 or 7 shots to Chazy's 0 here in the first half. Yeah, the second half, I mean.
You can't score if you don't shoot. Chazy hasn't really had the opportunity. They've had a couple chances to get close in, but they haven't put the ball in the net. Can't win that way.
Well, like I said, the intensity will now pick up. The game tied 1-1. And Chazy was kind of on their heels trying to nurse that 1-0 lead. Now they got to pick it up and get into the offensive flow.
Right. They still haven't established that midfield possession that they need to help control the ball game.
Well, here come the Hornets, and it seemed to ignite the Hornets here. They got the taste of the first goal, and they want to get that goal to put them ahead here. So 27-48, we do have a game. It's 1-1. We had a game before, but on the scoreboard it's tied. So, like we say, the intensity should pick up here a little bit. Ball into the open space, picked up by the Hornets, going over to Brooke Knight. And again, you got to watch out for her because she can turn around and get that foot going. It's going to be dangerous. And the shot goes wide. It was a good try by Zukowski, but it'll be a goal kick here for Chazy.
Well, when the Chazy boys played today, they scored 2 goals in quick succession both times. So the Eagle girls here are going to try and stop the Hornets from doing that same thing. And
coming in, Latchmore is back into the game, so that's good to see that it wasn't a serious injury.
Yeah, I saw Mr. Thompson putting her through the paces over here in the sideline, making her do some run and testing and that sort of thing. So he's giving her the clearance to go back out.
Yeah. And like I say, nowadays you got to do that to be sure, because back in our day it was like, I'll go back in there and.
Yeah, we used to have the rock drill. Coach Brendler would soak the soccer balls in water overnight, punting them from midfield, and you had to head it. If you didn't head it, you had to do laps. I'll tell you what, concussions weren't heard of back then.
Well, Chazy with the ball here at midfield. It is Laporte. She sends it up as she's trying to get it onto the foot of, again, I'm trying to pick out the number out there for Chazy. And there's a throw-in down the line. And I've always thought that was a good offensive weapon when you're throwing on the sideline. Just go down the sideline, because more often than not, the defense just pushes it out.
I was telling Calvin earlier in the broadcast about we had a guy in college named Steve Pyle, and his terminology for that was real estate. And Calvin quipped that Joey Trombley would like that would like that terminology as well. So that's what we call it, real estate.
He call it real estate. Just gain some real estate?
Absolutely.
And there's a battle there. Hayes will be called for the push. First, Zukowski gave her a little bump, so Hayes comes back, but you always get called on the retaliation.
It's been a pretty physical game, which, you know, that soccer has become nowadays is a lot more physical than it was.
There's
Dangerous ball.
outside, yeah, when it drops in the box like that.
There it is.
There's a second goal, and I was just saying, when it lands in the box, anything can happen.
You've got to do all you can to clear that out as a defender. It's a difficult ball, but that's your job as a defender, to get that ball out of
And you
there.
talked about that they seem to be coming in groups today, and sure enough, PHS jumps on it. So at 25-12, they go ahead now 2-1. And again, it's not surprising here in the second half because they had dominated play here in the second half.
That goal was scored by Shea Frady, it looks like, I
number
believe.
3?
Yeah. Well, Coach Sherman Tremblay has some work to get these girls motivated at this point to show for the crowd and show for themselves that they can come back from a deficit now with little time left.
Yeah, well, 20-something minutes, 25 minutes, which is a lot of time, but in soccer terms, it probably isn't. But now we can see what what Chazy's made of here.
That's right.
You know?
Test of metal.
Yep, absolutely. And the Hornets, they kind of like that scoring thing, and they're back there on the offensive run. And one thing Chazy can't do is be playing on their heels, trailing 2-1 here in the second half.
That's right. Coach Mulligan's not going to take his foot off the pedal here. He's going to have them, have these girls really push it to try to increase their lead.
Yeah, as a coach, you don't feel comfortable with a 1-goal lead at any time.
No.
PHS goal scored by number 3, Shea Frady, assisted by number 7, Haley McLaughlin.
So here come the Hornets again, scores, and if you were just watching this film, not knowing what's going on, you think that it was PHS trailing with the pressure they're putting on.
Shelby Gano trying to clear it out for the Eagles. They're just trying to get it up to midfield at this point and try to disperse it at that. But they're not being able to control the ball is causing big problems for the Eagles, and the Hornets are capitalizing.
And I mean, as any team, if you control the midfield, you control the game.
That was another dangerous opportunity there. Number 8 took a shot. Logan Baker punched it away.
Hewitt comes again. So the Hornets are still putting the pressure on. They're not satisfied with a 1-goal lead.
Baker's made 2 really strong saves. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a totally different ball game with a 4-1 score.
Yeah. Well, we have 23-24 to go. And I'll say it again, the next goal will be a big goal either way.
Huge goal.
And the ball works its way toward midfield, controlled by the Hornets. They switch fields. Running back is Courtney Gilmore, but she's being challenged by a Duquette, Sarah Duquette. And Gilmore, Duquette battling for the ball, and it's controlled by Duquette. And there's a nice battle out there, and Gilmore getting back into the fray here, but it goes out of bounds off of Gilmore. So there's a quick throw in, and it is number 3, Frady, who has one of the goals, along with Brooke Knight. Ball knocked away, and there's a shot, and there's another goal. And PHS is just having their way in the second half here against
Pouring it
Chazy.
on.
I mean, that was a beautiful shot. Baker
It
stood no chance on that one.
No, there was no chance she could stop that. Just a well-placed shot to the far corner. If there was a way to take a timeout, I'm sure Coach Trombley would wanted to take one right now.
I think she's a little stunned. After the first half, Chazy played pretty well.
They did. I mean, the game was certainly up for grabs. But here in the last 10 minutes or so, PHS is really taking a stranglehold on it.
Yeah. The assist was Carper. I didn't see who had the goal. They'll announce it here in a second. So, I mean, Shay, you got to be seeing this ball on this side.
Goal scored by number 7, Haley McLaughlin.
So McLaughlin again factors into this. But Chazy's got to be on this side of the field. They're trailing 3-1, so they got to get their intensity up here.
Right, and they're not even pushing. You see their fullbacks are staying back. They're in their own third of the field. They're not pushing up toward the midline, so they're hesitant. They're on their heels. Their confidence is down right now, and that's understandable.
Yeah, and we have to remind, and when the girls watch this game, it is the first game of the season, and it is a tournament.
That's right.
This is not the season. So you learn from this game, and I'm sure a coach will dissect this game with them and go over the pros and cons and work on the weaknesses.
I mean, and you also have to consider, we don't here in Chazy consider it optimal, but we're a Class D school playing against a really good Class B school. So,
Right.
so the competition is not necessarily fair, but we always consider it fair.
Well, we do consider it fair because we do compete, and when you're at a state championship caliber, I don't care what level you are, you want to play everybody.
Right.
And we do. And so I don't think for one moment those girls will use this as an excuse
No.
at all. It's, hey, right now they're getting beat by a better team.
And it's a great learning experience. Even though you hate to lose, the girls are going to take a lot out of this game. And then the game's not over yet.
No, it's not over. We're talking like they've lost. They haven't, but it's with 21 minutes to go here, they got to pick it up.
It's an uphill battle at this point.
Yes. And Polofsky trying to turn on the afterburners here, and it's back at midfield. And here come the Hornets, and Frady with one goal already, and it works its way. No, it does not go out. Pushed up along the baseline, and it goes out of bounds, so a throw in here for the Hornets. But what a beautiful pitch, though, huh?
Yeah, and it stood up really well. It's seen a lot of action today.
Yeah, and tomorrow, it's supposed to be some rain tomorrow.
This is a bad situation. Logan Baker was able to pull that back out. Yeah, if we see some rain, it's gonna damage this field a little bit. I think a little bit of moisture won't be bad, but if it gets sloppy, then.
Yeah, you watch where the goalies stand, and at the beginning of the season, it looks beautiful over there. And I kind of relate it to Wimbledon for tennis. It's a beautiful grass court, and by the time it's done, they got all these bare spots on it.
Oh man.
Okay, here goes Gagno, but it's cleared out. And all PHS has to do is just keep moving the ball forward. I mean,
That's
nothing
right.
fancy, just move it forward. They got the lead.
Push it to the wings and move it forward. Keep it out of the middle of the field.
If you're PHS,
Right.
Chazy's just got to put the pressure on and force the issue.
Force them to make mistakes. Don't let them turn. All these basics of soccer that you have to start thinking about now and go back to basics.
And you have Brooke Knight working her way down the line and knocked away by number 10, Polomsky. Coming into the game is Stebbins. And Brooke Knight sends it across the end line, so we're going to have a goal kick here. And coming into the game is Ashley Carper. Coming out is McLaughlin, who's had a great night for PHS.
Yeah, she's been a strong presence out there on the left side, almost all game. A great shot to score that last goal.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. And okay, good communication back there.
That's what Baker has to do. She has to be aggressive, take control back there, let her fullbacks know that when she wants the ball, she gets the ball. And that'll go a long ways with confidence there, too.
The ball controlled by the Hornets. They're in the Chazy territory. The Eagles are trying to muster something here. And it goes off to the outside, kicked up by Gilmore. Gilmore trying to control, gets it up over to Latchmore. Brooke Knight steps up behind her and takes it away. And she pushes it up over to Duquette. And the Eagles, it is Lauren working her way down the sideline, and it will go out of bounds. So it'll be a throw in here for Chazy. Gilmore with the throw in gets it into Blaze. Blaze goes baseline, or sideline, I should say, trying to get Lauren. But defensively, the Hornets do a good job. And there's a push on Laporte. Well, 17-12 to go here. And I'm not sure who PHS plays tomorrow. Have you seen that one?
I don't. I was just thinking that myself. I was going to ask you if you knew, but it would be a great matchup if they played Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'll have to. Probably not a good time to ask Coach Trombley that question. So I'll hold back on that one.
Well, it'll either be Immaculate Heart, Central, or Amsterdam.
It won't be Peru.
No, I don't believe so.
They're trying to keep the section, the teams within their own section away from each other.
Right, if at all possible.
Well, I mean, because they play each other so many times during the year. Twice, and if you get in the playoffs, it's 3 times you're playing the team. There's another shot, dangerous shot.
Yeah, it's in. Boy, oh boy. Poured it on.
Wow. Another nice shot.
Baker just couldn't stretch up high enough to get that one, tip it over the bar.
With 16:29 to go, I mean, PHS, I don't know what Coach Mulligan said to them at halftime, but my God, they've come out here in the first 24 minutes, they scored 4 goals.
Whatever adjustments they made, obviously, were the right ones.
Yeah.
And their defense has been stalwart. Really, Chazy hasn't been able to push it into the PHS third of the field for the last 20 minutes.
And, they aren't keeping track of the score clock anymore because it was 9-4 when the score was 1-1. And it says 11-4 now. So
the shots.
Yeah, the shots. Somebody's not doing staying on top of that down below.
PHS goals scored by number 15, Kaylee Parker, assisted by number 11, Ashley Parker.
So the Carper sisters, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that happened in the Beekmantown game as well with
The Villamers?
yeah, with
Kirsten
Kirsten
and
feeding Callie, and that goal came 54 seconds into the game.
Wow.
Really put Immaculate Heart back on their heels. Took them a while to recover from that.
And back there is Brooke Knight. She sends it up. And I think Coach Mulligan's probably a little surprised it's been this easy so far tonight.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Like we talked about earlier, you come into Chazy and you always expect a tough battle. This first half was strong, second half not so much. Looks like they've moved Knight to the back now. Probably going to, no, they're taking her off the field now. So.
Well, she's done some good work for the Hornets tonight. Nice for her to get a little breather.
That's right.
And stepping up is McLaughlin, who's had a monster night here for the Hornets. Well, we're at the 15-minute mark here at the George Brendler Field here in Chazy, and the last match of the day, and it is all Hornets 4-2-1. And Coach is emptying the bench right now. And this is good, too, to let these girls get out there and see what it's like. And she got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, literally wholesale changes. She has 10 girls going out there.
It's the entire squad coming off.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, she's pulling them all off.
Well, it gives these younger girls the chance to show what they have. And
Yeah.
maybe earn a spot in a team
Yeah.
that needs depth. So it's all about you now, ladies. Do what you got to do. Make an impression.
Yep, you're getting your chance, like right now. Subs, go ahead, girls.
They are 11 or 10.
10. I'm not going to name them all because I want to get them out in time. So as their numbers come up, I will. I'll try to give them their due here. We've got Lily Hayes with the ball, taking the throw in, and so it is Lily Hayes with the throw in, and it goes out of bounds. So Hayes will take another throw in here. Oh, that goes off the head of Kaylee Bell, I think. Yeah, that was Kaylee Bell. Ball cleared up, stepping up is Barcombe. She sends it into the open space and it goes out of bounds. So a throw in here for the Eagles. And number 3, Lily Hayes with the throw in. Trying to get it onto Skylar Thomas's foot. And Trombley with the ball. Trombley trying to work her way through. It's knocked away. Up to the open space. And it looks like number 7, Caitlin Therian, And Trombley with the ball. She pushes it back over to Hayes. Hayes trying to find Thomas. And it goes onto the foot of the Hornets. And back there for Chazy is number 12, Paige Barcombe. She gets it up over to Terrian.
Nice, Kenna! Good job, Kenna!
And it goes to the far sideline.
First legs aren't hurting, Joe.
No, they're out there hustling right now. I was thinking the same thing. They aren't demoralized. They want to get out there and play.
That's right. They're pushing the pressure, and they were moving the ball up the field.
That's on the far. You got Barnes trying to battle on the far side, and it goes off the end line. So it will be a goal kick for Chazy at 12:06, and Coach Mulligan does the same thing. He now makes some wholesale changes.
I'm not sure how big his bench is over there.
Not that big, actually.
Hasn't got the numbers that Chazy has.
No. Well, Chazy has 27 players.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And there's some that aren't eligible. So.
Right, yeah, well, when they're all eligible. So. And it goes out of bounds, so we have a throw in here for the Hornets. And here come the Hornets. It's cleared into the box. Nice head by Barnes. And a shot wide, and so we have another goal kick here for Chazy.
Well, the most important thing for the Eagles now is to have a positive finish to this game. Put some pressure on, make some good plays, try to minimize your errors, and learn from the mistakes so far today.
Well, Barcombe will take the kick here for the Eagles to midfield, and Gwen Lapierre trying to get to the ball, and it's on the far sideline, and it's knocked away by number 29 for Chazy. That would be Skylar Thomas. And it is Barnes. And here come the Hornets. It looks like it was Frady out there. Ball kept in. And it looks like Kaylee Bell. Far sideline. It'll be a throw in for Chazy. Right down the line. Good throw in by Bell. And Barnes up to midfield. And there's a shot that will go wide. So we're at the 10-minute mark here, and I think it's safe to say that PHS will more than likely win this game.
Yeah, they've played a great game, and not for nothing, the goals that were scored were quality goals.
Very quality goals. Yes.
So there's nothing to blame. It's just that's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, the girls finished.
That's right.
And the Hornets with the throw in here. Yes. The second group trying to make their name out there, playing hard, trying to make things happen.
That's the most you can do at this point, is make an impression on the coach. So when time comes, so injury comes up, or somebody needs a quick breather, she knows you're going to go out there and give your all and make a play happen.
Right, exactly. And Lapierre and Hayes, Lily Hayes that is, but coming over is Swice. Trombley with the ball at midfield, pushing it up over to Thomas. Thomas goes to the open space. Coming off the line is the goalie, and Sauls with the ball. Chips it up, controlled by Hayes. Over to Lapierre. Lapierre trying to get it over to Thomas. Thomas and Lapierre. And it is Kaylee Bell. She pushes it to the outside. Smart play. And stepping up is Therian. She sends it up, trying to find Thomas. And Brooke Knight just sends it forward, which is if you're PHS, that's what you do.
That's right.
Nothing fancy, just send it forward.
Keep the danger away. PHS really hasn't taken a lot of their starters out of this match either. You know,
Well, he's done the best he can. He doesn't have a big bench.
Right.
I mean,
he's moved people around. So
Yeah.
you have people playing.
I mean, he's got Brooke Knight playing defense.
Yeah.
He's took her off the offense.
Out of position. I mean, she's a talented athlete, so she can play pretty much anywhere you put her, but that's not her forte.
No. So I think Mulligan's trying to do the best he can to even it up, I should probably say.
Right.
And here come the Hornets. And Frady being guarded by Barcombe. And it goes off Barcombe's foot. Frady keeps it in. And there's a nice feed. And it goes over the net. And we have some more substitutions. And now we have for Chazy, Ariana Hagan coming in for Lily Hayes.
She didn't even like turn around to look at it. But that was on the far side. She has
Well, looks like Knight's back to the offense.
She's everywhere.
She's all over the place.
I think she's trying to punch it up and she didn't want it. No, she was using her fingers. Good job, Logan! Good job! Good job, Logan!
And Logan goes down and makes that save with 6:44 to go. Shots on net say 13-4, but I think it's worse than that. Chazy has not had a shot the second half.
No, they've been held without a shot, and coach can't be happy about that.
Hagan with the ball. Trying to push it through over to a peer. Trombley on the ball, but it's controlled by number 8, Hewitt. Trombley and it's knocked out by Duquette. And 16, it is Stocker. And Logan comes off the line there. Brooke Knight was close by, and that's always dangerous. 5:45 to go. It's a very comfortable 4-1 lead here for the Hornets. On the last game, there were 5 games here today. And the girls' game, of course, by the time this is aired, it'll be too late. But the game will be called by Wiry tomorrow, as well as Hometown Cable. And but it will be a tape delay because the Yankees are playing.
Yeah, and they're not going to upstage John Sterling and Susan Waldman for
No.
Joey Trombley and Joe Poyce. I don't understand.
Yeah, well, there's no chance for that. But after that, after the Yankee game, they will play the game, the girls' game, on Wiry, and then we go live with the boys at 7. Well, actually, 6:45 was the pregame.
That also is a great service provided to the North Country, is the ability to broadcast these Chazy games on the radio and over the internet. A lot of folks out of town get a chance to listen in to live action. It's really,
Right, I know that you followed it before on Wiry.com or probably more Wiry.com when we're downstate.
exactly.
But it's amazing the following of people listening to that game. The Final Fours, whenever we get there, there's a lot of interest, or even the regional games. But it's nice that Wiry does it, and again, it comes to the support of the businesses that support it, and that's the only way it can be broadcasted. And so, of course, I do a segment with Calvin called Talking Business, and we're just asking the public to please support the local businesses because they give back to the community in many different ways.
That's right. They may not be as visible all the time, but they certainly do. And of course, the time dedication by yourself and Joe Poissant to broadcast those, it's not an easy job, contrary to what a lot of folks think out there in the real world. It's,
Well, you were up here today when we did the game.
yeah, it's challenging.
It's fast-paced.
For sure.
Well, now, TV's a little different. We can kind of go off on tangents because they can see the game. On the radio, you got to paint that picture. It's a different world.
And sometimes it's hard to find the right word. You have to search a little bit. And it's tough. It's very tough.
But it's fun.
Yes.
But we have fun. We have fun doing it. And Sal's with the punt here. And this second squad for Chazy's held their own out there.
Yeah, they've done fine. They've done a fine job. Here's a dangerous play for the Hornets. And that ball's going to trickle.
Yeah, it won't make its way.
They're hustling, and that's the key. You put the pressure on the Hornets, they're going to make mistakes. That's the way.
Any team will put pressure on them.
Exactly.
That's for sure. And of course, Gwen is the sister of the very talented Caitlin Lapierre, who played many years here.
I did not know that.
And Gwen would love to get a goal. And of course, you know, Joe's good about giving out nicknames, and he early on, this is dangerous. Early on, he gave Caitlin Lapierre, when she was an 8th grader, the Lion Killer for Elizabethtown Lewis. Because it was a playoff game, they brought her up, and they hadn't seen her. She scored 3 goals that game as an 8th grader.
Amazing.
So she had the nickname the Lion Killer, and it stuck with her. And that's from Joe the Fish Poisson. So he calls Drake
Tasmanian
the
Devil,
Tasmanian Devil, yeah.
We had to retire Mr. Cool, as Nathan Reynolds
Mr. Cool retired.
graduated. So my brother and I were conspiring to come up with another alternative, and we're thinking maybe Mr. Chill. And I've temporarily baptized Dylan Doran with that name.
Okay, and then he gave, of course, Gage Duquette comes into the game, gets an assist within 30 seconds. So he's calling him Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy.
So, yeah, you never know what's going to come out of Joe's mouth.
For sure.
There's a minute 35 to go here, and it's been a very good night for the Hornets. And you know, you got to say kudos to Coach Mulligan and his team, because the adjustments he made in the second half obviously showed, as they totally dominated the second half.
Yeah, it's not even been close in the second half. They haven't given up a shot.
It's definitely fair to say the better team won tonight.
I would say that's definitely a fair statement.
Well, we're a minute 12, and like you say, Chazy's got to build off of this. It's a tournament game. I mean, yes, it counts on the standings, but it doesn't matter.
They're going to have a tough match tomorrow, so they got to get their heads up
absolutely.
and be ready to come out and play tomorrow, because the Beekmantown squad's going to be giving them fits tomorrow as well.
Oh yeah, they got to worry about the Villamere girls, and they're the real deal.
They are, absolutely, no doubt about it.
I mean, we're talking all-stars.
Yeah.
You know, they're very, very good. And you say, but what if they still lived in Chazy?
Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, well,
Jeez.
we have 29 on the team this year. I'm not sure these girls would appreciate it.
Right.
I say that in jest, because obviously they're all good friends.
Another corner kick for the Hornets to finish out the game. 20 seconds left.
Yeah, this one is,
Eagles cleared it out.
this one is in the books. There's no doubt about it. And they just got to keep them off the board for another goal.
Three, two, one.
Well, this game is officially in the books. It is the Hornets winning the final game here at the George Brendler Field in a very convincing fashion, beating Chazy 4-1. It was a very evenly first half played, and Chazy was ahead 1-0, but the Hornets, I guess, had a little more depth and talent in the second half, and they came ahead with the victory. And I'm Joey Trombley, along with Lee Barcombe. And Lee, it's been a real pleasure doing this game for the first time with you. And as part of the Hometown Cable family, we thank you for doing this.
Likewise, thank you very much. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, we got the congratulations here from both teams. And tomorrow, Chazy plays at Beekmantown. PHS, I'm not quite sure yet. We'll actually get that from one of the coaches. And today is the 31st?
30th.
The 30th. So today is the 30th of August, 2013. This game, like I say, is in the books. PHS in very, very convincing fashion win this game 4-1. Chazy needs to build off of this. It's a long season. And on behalf of Calvin Castine, as Calvin likes to say, and Sam used to like to say when he was on the camera, that's the way it was in beautiful downtown Chazy.